Brittany, bitch.
Oh, hey, fancy seeing you guys here. Oh, hey, fancy seeing you guys here. What's everybody? I'm sorry I didn't tell you I was going to the movies before. It kind of it just literally happened. Like a couple of the girls at work were like, let's go to the movies. And I was like, Tron? Tron? And they're like, yeah, sure. So it kind of just I just left work and went to the movies. So I'm sorry that I didn't tell you guys, but I'm here. I'm here. Tron was good. Tron was good. It was a 150 to a 5. No, not Paul Thomas Anderson. Was it really? It was fine. For as much as As much as I love and hate Jared Leto, it was fine. Tron Legacy was better. Tron Legacy, the story was better. The story in Tron Ares is kind of like fine. It's fine. What are the girls? So the girls at work liked it. I'm a little bit more critical than they are. Yeah, it says, what do I win? But then immediately after, Gigi wrote that she had a 5 stream that said wrecked. So here's the thing. I actually would recommend, because it's visually very fun. Like, visually, it's a really good movie. We saw it in IMAX, because the theater near us is an IMAX anyway. Visually, very, very, very good. The 9 Inch Nails soundtrack, slay. The 9 Inch Nails soundtrack, so good. But the story is like fine. The story's fine. Like I said, I'm a little bit more critical than the girls are. These are the same girls. So far, this group of girls that I've gone to the movies with, we saw the new Jurassic World together, which both of them loved. We saw Wicked together, and we saw Thunderbolts together. So they've loved every movie that we've seen together. So I think I'm a little bit more critical in there. Mr. Beast is in it, which is crazy to me. Can I wait to ride Tron with the new overlay and hear Trent in my ear for 58 seconds or whatever? When are you going? When are you going? But yes, so I'm late because I saw Tron Ares with my boy Jared Leto. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. All in all, as a cinematic experience, I enjoyed it. But is it the best Tron movie? No, I still think Tron Legacy was better. And that is coming from somebody who thinks Tron Legacy is better than the original. I think Tron Legacy is better than the original Tron, but Tron Legacy is also better than Tron Ares. So, yeah, so that's where I've been. Welcome in, everybody. I didn't even say hello to everybody. I didn't say hello to everybody. Wolfie, I think, got first. Britt, I think, got second. Hello, Horseman. Hello, Tori. Hello, Oni. Hello, Dave. Hello, Gigi. Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. The 24th to the 2nd. Oh, so that's why you can't play with me on my stream-a-thon. Girl, that is why. Hi, Steph. Oh my gosh, speaking of Steph sent me my birthday present, which I received today, and I'm very excited about it. I know you did. I'm just giving you a hard time. Hi, Steph. Welcome in. Thank you so much for my present.
Late night supply run.
I have been in the mood for some funny bones. Have you hit your funny bone? I haven't. I'm very excited. I'll probably eat one in a minute. Once my drink gets here. 62. That's so many months. Steph, do you like the new emotes? So anyway, I have been craving funny bones. They are little snack cakes. So funny bones are snack cakes. There are 3 main snack cake brands. There's Hostess. Funny Bones, the snack case. Yes. There's Hostess, there's Little Debbie, and there's a third company which is called Drake's Cakes. Drake's Cakes. And they make Funny Bones. They make Funny Bones, they make coffee cakes, they make devil dogs, and then they make 2 other things that I can't remember. I know, and here's the thing. They don't sell it down here. Nobody has heard of Drake's down here. I went to about 6 different food cities and about 4 different Walmarts looking for these. And eventually my mom and I were like, what the heck? Like, we have to look it up. Yeah, they don't exist out here. They're literally just in like the Northeast. So I texted Steph and I was like, hey, Funny Bones are in stock at the Walmart near you. Will you buy a couple boxes and ship them to me? So she did. I got 2 boxes of Funny Bones on my doorstep today, guys, from Steph for my birthday. But yeah. Yes, special delivery. Yes. So I'm so excited. Here, I'll go get one. I'll go get it. Hold on. I'll go get it right now. 2 whole bones. And listen, and Steph is such a G that not only did she get me, I was like, I think they sell them in like 6-packs or 8-packs or something, like just a little box of snack cakes, nothing fancy. That's what I thought Steph was gonna send me. No, Steph's a fucking G, and Steph sent me 2 of the club packs, 2 of the 18 packs. So not only I thought I was gonna get like 2 boxes of 6, she sent me 2 boxes of 18. So that's so exciting. But yeah, these are Funny Bones, guys. Funny Bones, if you are unfamiliar, they are a chocolate cake filled with peanut butter. And they're so good. Pace yourself there? No, I know. Literally, this has to last me so long. With peanut butter center, yes. So these are chocolate cake with peanut butter. So like a Twinkie. Yes, but they're not. Like Twinkies are fluffier and airier. You know what I mean? Where these are like devil's food. You know what I mean? Survival rations. Yes, this will last me a while. The other thing. Oh, this actually might be a problem. How many are in here? So they come in 1, 2. So they come in things of 3. Like a ding dong. Yeah. So it's devil's food. So basically the box says frosted peanut butter cream filled devil's food cakes. But yeah, so they don't sell these down here. They don't sell these down here. Yes. Yes, it's devil dogs. Yep. Devil dogs. Yeah, so I'm very excited. So let's see. Let's eat one of my bones. You need a nap? Go take a nap, Bessie. Funny Bones. See, Nikki knows Funny Bones because she's still back home in Connecticut. Nikki knows. But yeah, so thank you, Steph, for my birthday present. I'm very excited. What Northeast food are you going to crave next? I don't know. I guess whatever just comes to me. Whatever just comes to me. So it does have like, it is like a fudge coating. But here you go, guys. Look at that. Look at that peanut butter. Oh my god, it's still just as good. It's still just as good. I don't have a drink though. Because my drink is on the way. So I can't eat the rest because they're very, very rich. But it's so good. Fluff sandwiches? Yeah. Do you guys not do fluff sandwiches anywhere else? And I'm not talking, it's not peanut butter and fluff. It's just fluff. Fluffernutters. Well, Fluffernutters is Fluffernutter. So wait. Just like marshmallow sandwich. Marshmallow fluff? Yeah. But like, you can do fluff with other stuff. Like, you can do fluff with peanut butter. You can do fluff with bananas. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. I just like left my game chilling too for a hot minute. Utz? Wait, are Utz not down here? I don't think I've ever looked for Utz, to be honest. Ah! Almost died fucking around. I have fluff for my protein thing, but like in a sandwich. I know, Gigi. I know. I know, Gigi. We have Utz here. I've never looked, honestly. I've never looked. Oh, Ellie, go lay down, baby. No, Ellie, how are you here? What is Utz? Utz are chips. They're a chips brand. I'm too West for this. Utz are a chips brand. I got my Funny Bones! I did, Andy. I did. Once my drink gets here, I can eat the rest of this pack because they're too rich. You crazy East Coasters? Yeah, me in Tennessee. My East Coastedness. No, I'm from the East Coast. Speaking of being from the East Coast, and I wondered what I was doing. Oh, when I was holding up my stuff, you mean? That's funny. So, obviously, my phone number is still my Connecticut phone number. I never got a new phone when I moved down to Tennessee, because that's stupid. So we have this new lady at work, who I already can't stand. She annoys the crap out of me. She asked for my phone number, and I gave it to her. And so she called me so that I could have her phone number. And real rude and real, like, aggressively, she's like, why does it say CT? And I was like, well, CT is Connecticut. That's where I'm from. Like, what? What? That's where I'm from. I don't know how to answer that question. Why are you being so aggressive about it? That's what I was like, why are you being so aggressive? Like, damn. What is it supposed to say? I don't know. I don't like this girl. She's really just not a vibe. I'm not a fan.
Help. Please help.
You okay?
I was the only one to make it out. The survivors. You have to help them.
I know. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. But
What
she's
happened?
like, she's already pissed me off numerous times. So Andy and Gigi, she's the one who I was training a couple weeks ago, who kept like interrupting me, and like she would like ask a question, and then when I would answer it, she would go, no, 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 no. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Like, I don't.
Save anyone. My brother.
This will be the new I like your sticker. Oh my gosh.
Tell me where to go.
Steph did not like
Just
me,
need to know where to go.
but it's because Steph was like, I won't be friends with you because I'm your boss. And I was like, Psh, yes you will. Like, no I won't. And I wore her down. I wore her down until eventually she was like, fine.
I will stop them.
Yeah,
Your
the one who
sacrifice
used her
will
personal
not be in
outlook, yeah.
vain. I promise.
Hi, Zarl. Zarl, you can hop in and drop those things. I'm gonna be honest though, the class mod that I have is kinda sick right now, so just saying. Guess what, chicken butt? You got your mystery tattoo? Well, how do you know what it is if it's a mystery? Oh my gosh, did you get a chicken butt tattoo? How dare you? Gigi, no ghosty today? Are you too sweepy?
Last seen near a spooky spot covered in creeps. I like this cat's style. That's freaking hip.
Sir, I'm so rather you didn't do that. Got a chicken tattoo on your butt. Oh my god. I'm a freak. Hey, 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 hey. I have to itch my nose. No, I have to itch my nose. No! Ah! Don't go in there. Don't do that.
Crossed the wrong woman.
Why is it just going through him? Why is it just going through them? I'm hitting them.
Creeps neutralized. Looks like one of them dropped
Go get
something,
Co's.
too.
Nice. Shrimp zoodle Alfredo. How did you make shrimp out of zoodle? Is he okay? Is he gonna make it? Give him back. He's one of my favorite streamers.
Ooh, a clue. That's definitely cat hair.
A
But
chicken
why
on
is
your
it
thigh.
plastered all
Is that
over
no?
a
That would be a
candle?
chicken leg. A chicken
A
thigh.
candle.
Chicken butt.
My curious companion does love stealing them from a shrine we
Guess what?
sometimes
Chicken
visit.
butt.
It's not far from your current location.
Just the word chicken.
Order antagonists tend to show up
That would be
there.
funny. That would be funny. Where do I go? In here? Okay. No, I was just kidding, because there's a streamer that I watch whose name is Zoodle. Zoodle. You put in Discord? Nice. Yeah, I have a tattoo appointment tomorrow.
You look ridiculous.
What are you getting? A tattoo? No, I'm just kidding. So I have 2 tattoos that I've had for a while that just never got finished for whatever reason or another. There's lots of different reasons why tattoos don't get finished. And so clearly, like, I'm not gonna go all the way back home to Connecticut to get these tattoos finished. So I'm getting 2 of my tattoos finished, and then I'm getting a tattoo for Gigi. No, for my dog Gigi, I'm getting a tattoo. Bruh. Imagine if I actually just got a tattoo for you. Gigi's like, please don't. That makes me very uncomfortable. Get Gigi's face tattooed on my thigh.
Textbook.
We are to that point in our relationship. Yeet.
Chaos in your face.
I'm just like really into it, and Gigi's like, we're just friends. I'm like, yeah, but best friends. Yeah, but best friends.
Death will be my desire.
Like 2 more weeks, fair. That's fair. What if I'm just getting ahead, you know? I'm just getting ahead of the curve, you know? I wasn't supposed to have you and Gigi tattooed on my back today. Oh, no, you can because you're fans, right? That's different. As long as you have us, like, in a really awkwardly, like, romantic position. Or you have us, like, the cover of Step Bros. One or the other. It's not parasocial because I know Nikki, right? Right? It's different. Right? It's different. Or it's a pair of socials because there's 2 of us. Gigi, you're so smart. You're so smart. A pair of socials. You're so smart. Because there's 2 of us. There's no way that the robot knows this fake cover. So smart. So smart. No, my dog, which is not GG. It's not G period G. It's G-I-G-I. Gigi. Gigi. We're so social. They do say humans are social animals, you know. This whole chat is red flags. Oui, oui, Gigi. Hi, hello, welcome. It's a parasocial. Easy mistake to make, yeah. 'Cause there's two of us, exactly. Exactly. You get it. Oh my god, my bad. I'm so sorry. Also, it's not all about you, Gigi. She got both of us tattooed on her. Jeez. Jeez. We weren't talking about the PPC and then you brought it up. Dave, I'm so sorry. Dave, I'm so sorry, Dave. Oh my god, Dave, I'm so sorry.
Okay, if I were a candle snatched by a sticky pod kitty, where might I belong?
Oh, what?
Looks like the shrine's locked away. Gotta capture the safe house first. Always useful anyway.
Capture the safe house. Come on. Wait, it's not? It's not. I know. I'm sorry to be the one to break this horrible, terrible news to you. But there are other human beings. I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you this, Gigi, but there are other people out there. You're not alone in the universe. But y'all take it so seriously. No, now it's part of the joke. Now every time anyone talks about poop, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, Dave! Because I definitely don't milk jokes for way longer than they should do. That's totally not like me. Yo, there are too many turrets. That's the name of my single.
This is why you don't fight silence.
Holy shit! There's so many turrets. I can't even. I don't even know where to start. The party planning committee. Too many turrets. A pixel story. Back when I could hardly remember, all I could think about was turrets. And then one day, my daddy bought me a turret, and I played that turret every day, so my fingers bled. Because I knew that one day, I would be the turret master. You son of a... Stop! I have no...
Look at that shot!
Son of a bitch.
That's a mistake I'll make someone pay for.
Perk poop content? The peak poop content? Listen, guys, they literally made a book about it. Everybody poops. Except for apparently this one girl I went to high school with who swore that she does not poop. And I was like, honey, you must be so backed up. She's also the same girl who said she doesn't sweat.
See how they flail.
A pink and Gigi tattoo on your butt? Well, that's disrespectful. To tattoo our faces on your face. Because of the one time we played Peak, yeah. That's what Gigi and I are known for. Our peak content. Definitely. Like if people were like, how do you know Pink Soul? I'd be like, oh, I know her from her Peak content. All of the time she's played Peak. Peak content. You're a naughty child, and that's concentrated evil. It is concentrated evil, but everybody who's concentrated evil inside every human is 25 pounds of concentrated evil. Oh, gosh. It does seem like that a lot, that you've got a whole bunch of concentrated evil inside you. Get some extra, like, some exorcism. It's nothing. Burrow.
That's my favorite.
Thank you for perishing. No, please perish. Not me. Inside every human is 25 pounds. It does feel like that sometimes, though, man. My digestion. Okay, can you... Oh my god, too many turrets. Too many turrets. That's my favorite song. The weight to gold ratio? Holy shit. There was an option in there that said to turn up the, like the probability of getting like legendary catches and stuff. And I don't think anybody's gotten a legendary catch. Yeah, but it's only just a whale shark. Like, it's not even like... It's not even a cool shark, it's a whale shark. All they do is they just go, aww, as they swim and just eat everything in their path. That's my impression of a whale shark. Aww. And they're just like, wow, plankton. Aww. I don't think you should do that. No, it's a whale shark, guys. Don't make it weird. Guys, it's just nature. It's just nature. Don't make it weird. You guys are doing the opposite and you're making it weird. We're just being funny bones. Nature is metal as fuck. Also, I think my drink is here. 18 months. That's 7 months. Oh no. Let me check. DoorDash has stopped doing push notifications sometimes. Yeah, see, it's here. It didn't say anything. Okay, hold on. Arrived at 10:04. Holy shit. Since making things weird since 2020. It's true. So true, Betsy. A blobfish? I have seen a blobfish. One of the houses on your street caught on fire? Why'd you do that then? Oh, thanks, Duncan. Wait, why is there a hype train going on? Did they lower hype trains so now it's just one thing? All of a sudden, apparently a power line fell. Caught the yard on fire? That's crazy. Everyone's okay though, right? As long as everyone's good and everyone's okay. Alright. The blobfish goes...
Blub, 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 blub.
Yeah, exactly. That's how the blobfish goes. Thanks. I know all the fish. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Aha!
I know
A
all
spot
the
for a
fish,
missing
so it's
bone.
okay. You can ask.
Indeed. I have.
I know all the fish. They just kill their parents. It's this. Like, learning is so much fun here. I know. Submit that to the Natural History Museum. Oh, well, you know, I'm sure that they've got actual blobfish. Even though my impression is very, very, very scientifically
That's
accurate.
weird. The candle set off some kind of mysterious light. Not exactly the trail of clues I'd expect a cat to leave, but worth checking out. Echo 4, can you ping that light?
You ping that light? Just go there. What do you mean? Mine is better. Mine's better than the real thing. Thanks. Thanks. It's just, it's hard just like knowing
about
how
to be
all
null
fish
and
sound, you
voided.
know? It's rough out there for a fish enthusiast. Mine's more believable? I mean, thank you. It's almost as good as my Australian accent, isn't it? It's hot out there for a hoe! Am I close to the end? I don't know, actually. Oh shit. Okay, well, shit. This is what to say. I said thank you! Thank you, Nikki, for 18 months. I said thank you. No, not quite. I did... Yeah, getting into Dominion to use them is the tricky part. Zadra can help point in the right direction. So yeah, I'm like right there, I think. Wow, what a personal question. Which comic book lady could talk to fish? Yeah, Mira, technically. Could Mira talk to fish? Mira could control water, but I don't know. Could she communicate with fish? Technically, anyone can talk to fish. You are true. That is true, bestie. As evidenced, literally anybody can talk to fish. So, you guys want to hear some? Want to hear some Pixel lore? Want to hear some Pixel lore that just makes this conversation even funnier? Aquaman. Hashtag lore. Do you guys want to hear some Pixel lore that makes this conversation funnier? My nickname, my entire life, my whole family has always called me this. It's literally been my nickname my entire life. My nickname in my family is Christafish. Dead serious. That's what my family calls me. Yeah. Which just makes this conversation even funnier. Because I am a fish. I'm a Christafish. No further questions. Yes, I will not be taking any questions. Thank you. No questions, nor will I be confirming or explaining. That's why I talk to fish. Confirmed. It's true. Because I am one. Go ahead, guys. Ask me another fish. Go ahead. Ask me another fish. And don't say dolphins, because they're not fish. Tuna? A sunfish? Okay, sunfish. A Christafish? Perfect. No notes. I know, because it's perfect. What do you mean?
Never stood a chance.
Christoph-ish. Just Christoph-ish. Just like a little Christoph-ish. Christoph-ish. Kind of Christoph. I just watched that rock. Christoph adjacent. Yeah, just like kinda. Ish, give or take. But yes, and that name came from because it used to be like next to impossible to get me out of like the pool. Like I would swim in the pool until my entire body like raisined up. Sven is Christoph adjacent. Ayo. Too much like hypoglycemia. Listen. I believe, you guys, that is the word. I believe that that's the word because the internet is stupid. But I refuse to accept that that's what they call it because that's stupid and that doesn't make sense. Hypoglycemic is your fucking blood sugar. That's the stupidest name. Alphabetes? Yes, that's what I mean. Alphabetus. Why? Because one letter was changed? No, it's a what is that called? The portmanteau. When they put two words together, that's a portmanteau, right? Portmanteau. Portmanteau with a T. Portmanteau. Portmanteau. Whatever. You know what the
Probably.
I'm fucking saying.
Your cat is more than just curious, huh?
It's French.
Candles, shrines,
Yeah,
strange
but that's
beacons.
when you put two
Feels like
words together
Maury's
to make a
being
new
drawn
word,
on some
right?
kind of
A
pretty spiritual beat.
portmanteau.
Portmanteau. Realms of evil grandeur.
Like, I get it. It's like typo and hypoglycemia. I get it. But it's stupid because hypoglycemia is your fucking blood sugar. It's stupid. That's stupid. I think the whole thing is stupid. It's stupid. Whoever made that is stupid. And that doesn't make sense. Actually, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I believe that that's what it's called because I think that the internet is stupid and that's probably what they actually named it. But I refuse to accept that scientifically because, again, it doesn't fucking make sense. That seems very fair. Literally means wear jacket. When 2 or more words get to trench coat and act like a single word, that's support. Oh my gosh. It's literally 2 words in a trench coat. Guys, it's literally 2 words in a trench coat. 3 raccoons in a trench coat buying a movie ticket. For those who weren't here the other night, hypoglycemia is the absolutely stupid made-up word for that thing where, like, if the first letter of the word and the last letter of the word are, like, in their proper places, you can mix up everything else in the middle. Apparently, they say that's called hypoglycemia, but I refuse to accept it because that's stupid. Is this guy taking any damage at all? It might come up again. It's probably not supposed to be run around in a circle a bunch. That's just literally how I'm doing it. Just seems like he doesn't take damage. Or he's got a shit ton of speed. They gave you a circle, it's true. Landed on English was having a bunch of Germans moving to Roman ruins, absorb a bunch of Viking invaders, and get conquered by the French and yelled at by French aristocrats for 500 years. That's true. Just very slowly. Okay, chill. Ooh, Oomst. Oomst. He's leaking. Guys, he's leaking. You, come here. Stop! Don't do that, it's gross. Early onset dementia! Yep. Same though, bestie. Okay, nope, 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 don't do that. Did you just kill yourself? Yo, I think he just killed himself. I think he just exploded. Well, shit. Well, I guess he's dead. Oh wait, I didn't finish this. Well, he got tired of going in circles. I also got tired of going in circles. So fair. He was he was, and he was saying that he has early onset dementia as well. Am I the bad guy? Am I the villain? Aren't we all though? Same. Same. Is it me? Am I the problem? Oh, hey.
Huh. The light just led to a cave entrance. Guess I'm going in.
Hi. I'm the problem, it's me.
Cat, if I go into this
just
mine and you're
punch the
not
fucking
there,
force field.
I will take one of your
Hey,
remaining
yo.
lives.
Whee! This is probably a boss that I'm just blindly going into. Secret tunnel.
Here, little mystery kitty. You in here?
The mountains.
Day 4. Maybe 5 on watch.
Yeah.
Just me and Emil here now. He's okay at the moment, but he's starting to panic.
Everyone in here is an asshole.
Team went to
I'm
find a way out.
so
I know
nice.
they can get past most of those rippers, but there's
Guys.
one I'm not so sure about. We saw it eating Ordinite when we first realized they were in here with us.
I'm so nice.
The next time we saw it, something
dare
had
you.
changed. It was bigger and off, if that makes sense. We just gotta hold
kitty.
out a little longer, that's all. They'll get out and come back with help. They will.
How
I
actual
have to
dare
believe
you?
They will.
Kitty.
Emil.
Hey there, sweetheart. Whoa. Whoa. You're a big one. Just
Hi,
like my
Lux.
sweet baby angel. You're fine now.
Oh, is this guy gonna attack me? 57 months. Hi, Laws. Wasn't expecting Borderlands 4. Yeah, we've been playing for about a month
Breathtaking.
now.
Look at you.
Oh my god, thank you, honey. I was expecting a rescue, but you've turned it into a rescue with a side of compliments.
Oh my what? You can talk?
Laws, thank you so much for
Oh,
57
my companion
months.
did that for me. Let's dish about it after we get out of here. First, can we make a bridge to get over that filthy water? And by we, I mean you. I'm not about that
Head it.
soft life, babe.
There you go.
Already making demands, huh? Love it. Admire it. Let me see about that bridge.
You may call me Maury. My companion loves to make the most out of fabulous things, so now I get to voice all my strong and invariably correct opinions. Isn't that amazing?
I gotta
Isn't
be
that
honest,
amazing?
I am living for you right now. I wish my feline friend could talk. But they have been a primary witness
Help
to a
Maury
lot
escape.
of murder, so maybe not. What
Uh,
a treat to get to meet you.
Oh my
Can
god,
you
you're such
fly?
a
Can you jump?
sweetie.
can you do things? Can you... Are you cool? Are you chill? Hey, are you cool? Can you do tricks? Like, can you do like this? No. It's not. Of course not. Useless. Hey, are you cool? You cool? Oh, now you cool though. Look. Oh, now you cool. Come on. Come on.
Yes! Time to exit stage left, am I right? Let's go. I guess now's a good time to warn you that I keep getting
Ripped in and out of the face, which, for the record, incredibly painful. Ugh, do not recommend.
Oh, for the record, I keep getting ripped in and out of phase, she says. Right. Just down? Oh, talk to Maury. Okay. Hello.
How did you get into the phase to start with?
I don't know.
Heavens-
hon.
heavens
It
to
only
be
happens when
accept-
I'm in here. I'm just exploring like my normal gorgeous self, and then bam, face down.
No wonder they couldn't find you.
Tragically, even a watcher can only see so far.
A what?
A watch. Oh, no. It's happening.
Oh,
Whoa, Maury! A rift. What could go wrong?
oh.
Darkness incoming!
Kitty.
Where did you go? You know that Ordinite
Whip.
is around here somewhere.
Whip.
Once here, you will part if it gets its hands on you.
Whip.
Emil! Is that you?
I think I've been in this one already. I think this one's gonna go back over here. Yep, okay. So that one up there.
Oh, Emil, I'm so sorry. Why did you have to?
Yeah.
Wait,
Oop, bye!
who's
She's
that?
just like, ow! I'm just like, oh no. Oh no.
Maury?
See?
And great, they're lost again.
Arnar! Kitty kitty! You want some cheese? As a treat? Oh wait, where are you guys jumping out of? Your mom's vajouge? No, I won't join you ever. Put a shirt on. Put a shirt on. They be coming out of holes left and right. Hey, oh! Your mom's vajouge. Oh, one word, Izaro. Every time. Yes, mine is one word. I don't know how to change, like, I would make it a 2-word one if I could, but I don't know how to make it a 2-word. Yeah, it's 1 word. I'll have to look into Mixed Up and see if I can do, like a secondary version of the command that's 2 words.
Maury? You in here? Oh. Any of you assholes see a chat?
Funny quote, thanks. I'm a funny guy, what can I say? I got my funny bones! Guys, this is like peak content, you know? Hey, yo! This is content you can only get on twitch.tv/pixel, just saying. Wow, I'm leaving? Big man. This isn't peak, it's Borderlands. Fuck! Fuck! Add quote, whatever. Yeah.
Maury, there you are.
But,
How are you feeling?
Curdled thresher milk.
Mix It Up, as far as I know, doesn't do commands with
Better.
spaces in them, which is why I'm confused.
Oh no, the face is reaching
I'm sure there's a
out
way.
again, the needy bitch.
Yeah,
I don't have
because
much
quote
time
is an
for-
included command.
Maury! Don't worry. I'll find you.
Like I said, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Not too sweaty about it? Oh my god, so sweaty. Save my words! Hashtag things! Hashtag stuff and things! Hashtag stuff and things! Gotta hydrate, I'm so sweaty. Guys, I miss Subby. Subby was such a fun playthrough. Her first kiss? Who was Lisa's first kiss? Why is that a question, bot? They're made with water. Nelson. Yeah, I think Dave's right. I think it's Nelson. Who's that? I'm in danger. Who's that?
It's not real unless I say it's real.
I'm sure the bot scrubbed it at some point. A million years. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons when I was like a little girl. And then when I got older, I was just like, I just never did. Getting close? Okay, once I'm probably like out of this area. I mean, I guess you can probably join this area and do dumb stuff. After I clear it out. Nelson, there you go. You'll see where I get all my jokes. Oh, maybe I shouldn't watch it then. I don't wanna take away the magic of Dave's jokes.
The abyss!
What do you win? He wins a thumbs up. Whoa, sir, chill. Chill. You're so very unchill. Are there consequences to my actions? Quick, where's that from? Only real fans know. Only real fans know. Only real fans know. A leprechaun tells me to burn things? Whoa. Oh, wait. A kappa! A kappa! It's a kappa! Bruh! Bruh!
Salutations!
Who's still left? Oh, you?
Hey, don't
No,
face! A little help here?
What's this? Shout. Alright, Zarl, I will wait here until I progress for you. For you to give me loot. He said he wasn't coming, and it took so long. Fair. Fair. I'll hop in real soon. Oh, if you're not ready, I'll keep going. I was just gonna wait because there was no enemies now. But if you're not ready, I'll keep going. No real fans here? I think Horseman should get like a quarter of a point. Okay. Oh, there's a man over here. I'll go kill these mans. I'm gonna kill these mans. How are you?
There lies a big, dumb, dead joke.
There lies a big, dumb, dead joke. Yeah, the app has mod view now. On the way, dearie. On the way, dearie. I can't wait to see how large this man is compared to Vex. Your drip. That's what she said. Oh, you're far. Oh, no, you're not. Oh. Wow, you are a large man. You're a large man. Hello. Hello. I like your sunnies, mate. I like your sunnies. That's great. He's so big. Why is he so large? Look at his axes are like my size. His axes are the sweater on your back. Oh my gosh, it's very 90s. It's so cute. He's so large. Look at like I kiss his little nipple. Mwah. Mwah. Lorg. Ooh. 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 It's Christmas. Christmas. It's Christmas. Christmas. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. They just like go floaties? That's crazy. Double clip. Quimus! Thank you, Zoro. Alright, let's look at these. Let's see. So this legendary have a chance to be badass. Oh, Spectres and Reapers have a chance. Okay, so that's a nice one, but I don't have that class. Like, I don't have that, that's not the Vex that I use. Let's see. Are any of these green? Oh, this one's green. Action skill, fire rate, and reload speed. Okay. Assault rifle, movement speed, status effect. Gun critical. That one's not bad. Reload speed, sniper rifle, action cooldown. Cool. Is this one? Let's see. 22. Status. The X's don't do that by default. That's pretty cool, though. Ordnance damage, shotgun damage. This one has 4? How come this one has 4? But this one has 4, too. Oh, so some of them can have 4. That's crazy. So one skill you spec into the floaty fire axe, which lets you spec into another skill for the floaty ice axe. Is there one where you aim better? No, that's just me being garbage! The same number of total levels? +3 +2 +1 +1. Oh, yeah, I see. So it's still like 6. 7. This one would be so good if I was on, like, if that was the build that I was using. But I have the Eldritch Blast one. Thank you. Thank you, Azaro. I'm gonna hang on to this one just in case I want to fuck around with that build ever. What's with that sneeze? I used to be super self-conscious of my sneeze because it was very loud and obnoxious. So I like started forcing myself to sneeze quietly, and that's the result. That's the result. So thanks for giving me a complex. I was afraid I was gonna fart and sneeze. Horseman, you are feisty today. Holy. No, I'm gonna hang on to that legendary one though, in case I want to swap my my build around. Life is complex. Are you saying because I used to force myself to sneeze quietly?
There you are, Maury. The Rippers didn't hurt you?
No, I'm fine. Ish.
Starting to turn on you. I don't have any more jokes.
Don't mind me, babe. I'll just be over here ripping apart more
Has the
rippers.
doomies? The doomies?
We're kind of like
Oh
a family, aren't
my
we?
gosh.
It's already too late, sweets.
Eye itches. Bad rainbows go to Prism. But up to Boo? You think that was a boo? Oh, Gigi's a harsh critic. Gigi's a harsh critic. It's a light sentence. Boo! Gives them a chance to boo! I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
With that, babe.
We're gonna fight. Them's our fighting words. Puns in my chat? If only we knew where she is. Oh my god. Listen, I learned my lesson after completely butchering Dave's joke the other night. It's all about the execution. It's all about the execution. Tell us the French joke again. No, you can't recycle the jokes. Come on. Dave's clever enough. He'll come up with something else. Why? Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. No, I'm out of ammo. Ah! No! No, let me shoot the balls! Ah! I shot your balls! Okay, 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 okay.
Maury. Wow. You good? You're looking super phasey.
You're looking super phasey. Wait, where'd she go? Oh, she lost. Oh no, I was like, we lost her already.
You said it. Lead the way.
Wait, am I supposed to go in here? You can't weasel your way out? Can I go for my way out? Because I could go for some ice cream. Fighting twice. We're fighting again. We're still fighting our fight from the last fight.
Where are you, Maury? Feeling any better now that we're out of the mine?
Yes!
Sniper.
Hey, honey. I'm halfway to my companion already.
Vault Hunter,
Return to
Maury is
watching
joining me at our favorite shrine. Meet us here, won't you?
Stop touching me!
Absolutely.
Stop touching me!
What was it like for you? You know, when you started being able to talk?
I'm not touching
My thoughts
you.
didn't change. They just started
Hey,
like
don't make me pull this stream over!
The weirdest part was losing my meow.
You can't meow?
Oh, I can, but it's just like meow. I just say the word. You should see how the other felines look at me. So rude. Oh, I hate them.
You hate felines? But
She
you're a feline.
goes, I can meow,
That's how I know we're all
but it's
dicks.
just like meow.
I like you.
Oh, honey, I like you too.
Oh, that was funny. She's like, I can meow, but it's just like the word meow. Imagine a streamer stopped playing a game to fuss at her subbies. You're making a joke, but that's entirely a thing. You're a quesadilla! Oh my gosh, what are you gonna do? Pink has pulled the stream over before. When? I totally believe it, but I'm not. I don't think I remember what you're referencing. Give us a big joke, but sexual jokes go too far. A long time ago. Oh, because I think some people were like really gross. Why are you bringing up old stuff? Yeah, no, I think people were really gross back then. There was a couple people who were kind of pervy. Behave? I don't know about that. Or behave even? I don't know about that. Wait, how do I get back up there? Oh, I can just travel up there. Teehee.
Good news, I found Maury. Bad news, they've been
Don't
slipping in
sound
and
too
out of
thrilled
phase.
about that. Wow.
Oh, naughty Maury.
Wow. Alright guys, hold on.
Patty
It's
around where you shouldn't be.
time.
My Maury, you are so precious. I can't have you
I
going
want
into
this
those
glowing
lines.
pink cat
You
who
know
goes
what those
meow.
stones can do.
Fine. This torn asunder thing is not the look I'm going for anyway. Thanks for the help, honey.
You have my gratitude as well, Vault Hunter. Do enjoy your time on Kairos before. Well, I look forward to watching you.
Should have gotten a what? A fuff fuff emote? What's that? Are you not happy with the I almost said remotes. Are you not happy with the remotes I have provided? Oh, puff puff. Well, I don't do it on I don't do it on camera though. I turn my camera off. You fuff fuff? I do fuff fuff when I turn my camera off. Off off. Yeah, no, I just turned my camera off because sponsors and stream team and all that stuff. Where is Pink? Is half the chat's activation phrase? Well, the spinach artichoke mouth. Slow down a second here. Mouth. Reel it in. The spinach artichoke. What the fuck? What the fuck? The spinach artichoke dip joke isn't me, it's Gigi. What was that so hard to say? Oh my god. It comes up here all the time when I'm not here. Listen, I can't help that Dirge's grandma brought him some homemade spinach dip and chat was concerned that it would just summon you. Like, it just like a fucking beam of light just like goes into Gigi's chest and she's like, oh, and she just gets like teleported to wherever the fucking spinach artichoke dip is or whatever. Like, chill out, guys. It's not, this isn't a sci-fi movie. It is a weird set of syllables. It's true. It's true. I don't know why it was so difficult for me to say for whatever reason. Is it on this man? Where the hell is it? Oh, it's on this thing. Like, it could be... Anything's a sci-fi movie if you sci-fi hard enough. Loz, how have you been? What you been playing? I saw you playing Pal World recently. Did you get back into Pal World? Also, I just want you guys to know that when I did that, I actually hit my chest so hard. Like going like, "Bleh." It hurts now. It hurts. I was just really into the joke. I don't see where the, is it, it's further below? The commit. Ah, Dave and Gigi are the same person! Confirmed. You know I always commit to the bit. Come on, guys. Come on. Hey, yo! Get out of my brain! No, I can't be more people. You're already me. I'm already too many people. It's true, though. The meme of Leo doing that finger pointing at the TV. When Nana said that about the dip, you were like, oh, oh, oh! That's so funny. It was even funnier though because Dirge just said spinach dip. And then she like very, very like aggressively was like spinach artichoke dip. She like corrects him. Good times, good times, good times. It's very funny, it's very silly. Good times, guys. We have some good times. Usual stuff and trying to relax. But yeah, to get the new stuff since the Fae break. Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't Pal Worlded in a little bit. Pal World is like my weird comfort game. Like, it's hard. Like, it gets to the point where it starts getting difficult, but it's still just very fun and silly and goofy and fun. Ooh, how am I gonna do this? Oh, this way maybe? And then... Pop Trap. Please don't speak every time I pick this up. Okay, you're not gonna. Thank you. Thank you so much, game. Ba-da-ba-da. You don't want your boyfriend? No, I especially don't want my boyfriend to speak. Ew. Ew. TG gets me.
You selling in pints round here?
I know, I was like, that sounds perfect.
You fucker. What? I mean, you know.
Okay, where's this thing, this mod that's not my class? Here it is.
Not sure what I'll do with it. Maybe sell it to Claptrap for double.
Alright, it's a level 21.
Oh, Levine's gonna love this. Or hate it.
According to, no, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. And I was going along with the joke as well. I was going along with the joke as well. But also, no, I don't want him to speak. But I especially don't want him to speak every time I pick the thing up, because I have to throw it to, like, go places.
I'll miss our little
Is there a vault in here? Is this a vault? No, where's the vault? There's not a vault in... Oh, okay, this is just a safe house, so I guess it's not a vault. Okay. Okay. I probably should go... Wait, where's main quest? Oh, main quest is literally at her place. Okay. So let me go to a town real quick. Go. Let me go to a town real quick so I can put stuff in my vault and all that stuff, and then we'll do that. Let's get past the hump of hard automation, aka crude oil, and having enough palladium for the other ingots. It gets a little more to where you can focus on buffing yourself or your team. Yeah, I think that's kind of the loop that I got stuck in, and that I was just like, I'm not really interested anymore. But also, I feel like the oil thing is bugged sometimes. Oh, because my boyfriend can't talk. Lol. Because I would like leave, I would like be like idle for a little bit, and I would go back to one of my camps, and there would be no oil, and I'm just
take a step back.
where is it going?
Wow, handy! Alright, the spawner should ping Limos's path
Oh,
in
apparently
order
that's a
of
side quest. I
upload.
didn't mean to start.
It's proximity based.
No, I need
so
my vault.
When you get close to one, it'll update their trail.
No, I
Got
need
it.
my vault.
You stay here while I check
A,
it out.
am Goral.
We'll find them.
B, am Goral. Oh, best friends that I thought that was best friend. No, no, no. BF is boyfriend. BFF. Oh. Oop, I did a poopsie. Oopsie poopsie. I did a oopsie poopsie. Where's the vault? Oh, it's up. It's up here. Up. There we go. Horseman ships us confirmed. I mean, who doesn't? Curved disc jockey, no thanks. Oh, I loved that shotgun for a long time. Overshielding panicking super soldier. It's an energy shield. Oh yeah, that's the other one I got. That's right. I'll put that away for later. It's level 44 shotgun though, huh? I mean... In the volcano area, you can have about 5. And then just having pals to power the generators for the little bug where they're placing it. Yeah, that might be what it is. But I ended up breeding a bunch of pals. And of course now it's been too long that I can't remember. But I ended up breeding a bunch of like the big electric guys. So like all of my electricity is crazy. Did they ever fall into the volcano? That would be cool. Oh, it's not more damage. Increase damage for 24%, damage radius by 35. Put me in, coach. I'm gonna fuck with it for a bit. We'll see. I am glad they brought the Rougarou back, though. Real worlds anymore. I know, boring. Boring. Oh, let me check. Neither of those do. Okay. Well. Alright, I can sell all my healing kits. Is it not? I feel like it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing and getting rid of the lower rarities. Because I feel like I keep getting a lot of greens and blues, and I know I'm leaving purples behind.
Hurry! Supplies are limited.
Been on an adventure to a real volcano? Oh, Laz! Laz, you've been gone for a bit. Have you seen the new emotes? We have all new emotes now, which is very exciting. Oh, right, stupid net. Gannett.
To think I'd almost forgotten what joy felt like.
Waving back? Who? Whoa. Oh, because I went like that. Yeah, McDonald's doesn't pay for travel. That'd be cool though, huh? Alright, so now we go back to Zadra. Oh, Britt, are you here? Are you in chat? I wonder if they just mean because it's short. I've heard it's like 2 hours. I've heard it's like stupid short. Oh, it was breaking? Yeah, because I've heard that it's short. Like, I've heard it's like 2 hours.
Ah, you're here. You have them? The command bolts?
They're in various states of sticky, but yeah, all three right here.
I don't mind the gore. I have a different cleaning in mind. One of the reasons I asked you here is so that I can wipe their caches for our purposes. A factory reset, if you will.
Mm-hmm. All right, well,
Insert
we'll
them into that
something else
console. This will just take a moment. But,
I really want her
in
little
truth,
hooded jacket.
I am glad for the time. There is something else I've been wanting to discuss with you.
You should pull it out of your ass.
What's on your mind, Zadra?
I hope you will forgive me. And I do mean that.
Why?
You have asked why I'm helping you. I have many
Oh, bitch,
mistakes to
you're gonna
atone
betray
for,
me, aren't
several
you?
lifetimes worth, in fact. But there is one
You're about
that
to betray
haunts me the most. Rush accused me of being the Timekeeper's favorite. He was more right than he knew.
You're about to betray me.
I gave the Timekeeper the means to imprison this planet.
You're about to literally betray me right now.
I created these bolts. All of them. Even the one in your head.
That's heavy. Why'd you do it?
I'd love to blame it on youthful naivete. It was, after all, a millennium ago. The truth is, I did it of my own free will. I believed in his order. Or at least, in him. His purpose was so clear. I mistook it for compassion. But he is heartless. I see it now.
Borderlands has a volcano, surely.
In the
We're just
cruelty
there.
he inflicts on the people of Kairos.
I mean, the whole world's
He
like breaking apart. There's
exists
lots of
only
craters.
to impose his order. He will not let it break easily.
Everything breaks, Zadra.
Huh. Perhaps. But as the order fractures, you've been building something new. The Crimson Resistance flourishes. I have had to mute a great many group chats. Calder and Rush have been exchanging recipes, and I would advise trying exactly none of them. In all honesty, you've given Kairos something else to believe in. Myself included.
I straight
Thank
thought
you,
she was gonna betray
Vault
me. I
Hunter.
thought she was about to be like, oh, remember how everyone says
command
I'm
bolts are
his
ready.
favorite? Well, it's true. Here you go. Like, I thought for sure. Or she has, and we just haven't discovered it
Now,
yet.
to our next steps. The bolts will gain us access to the Timekeeper's Tower, but despite my efforts to bypass the lockdown, Dominion City remains sealed. That said, I've spoken with your Siren friend in the Terminus range. She believes she has a lead that could help our efforts. You should meet with her.
Okay.
In the meantime, I will prepare for our venture into Dominion. The Timekeeper will be expecting us.
Cool. Alright, so now where's Amara? Oh, she's here. Okay. Main quest stuff? Yep. Main quest time! Yeah, I've been advised to finish the main quest before reaching max level. And I'm 6 levels away from max level. Alright. Oh yeah, she lost her arm last time. That's right.
You're here. Good. I wanted to...
Oh, this place is colder than Jack's dead head. Still haven't fixed the heating pipes, huh?
Well, well, well.
Why did she
Look
sound
who
echoed?
escaped from the retirement home.
Heard you were rounding up some vault hunters, so... Reporting for duty, boss.
And how did you hear that?
Why is it
Oh,
echoey?
like none of you plant listening devices on your friends. Look, I'm tired of bouncing drunks. I'm fit, I'm focused, and... That's a cool new arm! Do any tricks?
It can count to 1.
Right? Won't even notice me. Call me Zane Silence Flint. I'll just be off here. Stealthy. Covert. Fly on the wall.
When we get to 3, you should play as him.
Harry's your furry little shite. Who's my great big boyo? Oh, you little...
Thanks to you, Vault Hunter, I finally know where Lilith is. She's stuck in the phase.
That's the dimension Vile Lictor was trying to reach.
Boyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so fun.
Lilith went through the phase to teleport from one point
And
to
Siren.
another. When she pulled Elpis here, she
Double
must have been
sirens, I
too
guess.
weak to escape. She's still up there. We've literally been looking on the wrong plane of existence. We're so close. We've got to get her back. I know you have your sights on the Timekeeper, but with Lilith on our side, we can give Kairos the crimson resistance it deserves. Now, the one thing we don't have is a way up. Sanctuary isn't flying anytime soon.
Oh, if we're shooting the moon, lass, we don't need to fly. We've got a lift.
Shit.
Really, Zane?
Shit.
You trust a Ripper-engineered space elevator?
Feck no!
Really?
But you said it
Feck
yourself.
no.
We can't fly there. What other choice do you reckon we've got? If and we die, least ways we do it looking cool.
What more could one ask for? Meet you at the launch platform, Vault Hunter. Come on, we'll use the fast travel. So, the mighty Zane Flint is a pub bouncer.
You haven't seen much outside of this ship, have you? Not exactly teeming with high-paying jobs. Besides, Moxie's a good boss.
Must be difficult. How do you do it? Keeping one eye on her and another on the drunks when you've only got the one.
Oh, she's got jokes! Give yourself a round of applause! Oh, except, what's the sound of one hand clapping again?
Watch it, Flint.
Yo!
See you alive.
Yo! Oh, that was dirty. Oh, that was dirty. Fair play, fair play, fair play. I'm so glad I stayed for that interaction.
You're giving me goosebumps in a bad way.
Oh yeah, I changed my shotgun. Holy shit! You guys see that? That's dope as hell. You kind of gotta aim it differently though. Someone say aim? Yeah, apparently I can't aim. Yeah. Horseman says I can't aim. Yeah. Can't summon vehicle from this location. Okay, well I wasn't trying to, but sure. Okay, this was kind of fun. You just have to, like, aim it differently. I only pick at you. I'm sensitive. Also, you said I was the mean one. Bully. Who's even mean? Chat's mean. Chat's mean. And then...
Over here! Help us clear out these fools!
I can't. I'm so busy. Oh, you guys did great.
So what's the plan?
No, and
here
then.
exactly?
Ask our resident space elevator expert.
Well, let's take a gander. Just a cable-guided monster rocket.
Mean and aiming is two different things. No, you're being mean saying I can't aim.
With a wing and a prayer. Let's have a go at that clamp release lever then. You got this, Vault Hunter?
Listen, just because I don't have to aim while I pee doesn't mean I don't know how to aim a gun. Just saying. To heck?
No dice.
Wait, no, we're supposed to go up, not down.
Not want us flying today.
I'm not staying grounded. We'll manually release the clamps.
Where'd I go? You can go to jail. Straight to jail. Hello.
There's the first. Easy pickings for our siren here. Tigress, unhook this thing, won't you?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you can do it, honey. Oh, no.
Busted. It's this new arm. The auger said I'd need to adjust to it, but...
What? No, you definitely loosened it for sure. Don't you think, Vex? Loosey-goosey?
Loosey-goosey.
Totally. Here, I'll just get it the rest of the way.
Yeah. Chow.
that woke the Rippers. Let's move. We've got 2 more clamps to release.
Ka-chow! Oh, my nose.
Not sure anyone could have moved that clamp alone anyway. Rusty as our nuns, bed springs it was. Just an absolutely shite clamp when you get down to it. It's interesting from the start, right?
Okay, he's kind of like
that
low-key
clamp
sweet.
Come
Can we just focus on the task in front of us?
At hand. Holy shit. This one launches people. That's the second person who just got yeeted into fucking outer space. I don't need y'all's 2 cents. Holy, Horseman is feisty today. Horseman is feisty today. You need a nappy?
Good. One more left. You take it, Vault Hunter.
That Doomies. I think he needs a nappy. It's the Mountain Dew. I've never heard Mountain Dew doing that before.
Fair play there. Now, what's next? What's next? Right! Ignition system.
Can't blame the
Gotta get
Mountain
these
Dew for
engines fired
everything.
up. This way.
I was drunk, I swear. Goodbye. I don't know where you went. Yellow number 5 can do some. Your second Celsius of the day. Gigi, how's your heart? Does it feel okay? Are you fluttering or
Sorry, not
palpitations or feeling lightheaded? It's great. I have to go all the way around. I feel nothing. That's how you know it's working. Dizziness when standing. Yeah. Maybe I'm just dead inside. Yeah, that might be a completely different medical miracle there. Hello?
So, if I'm reading these fuel pipes right, and I'm a certified expert at laying pipe,
Ayo!
Flint.
the ignition controls are just above. Only problem is, the way up's banjaxed.
Just need something to grapple onto.
There's something I could... Ugh, no, never mind.
Let's give it a go. A wee phase tug. Let the tiger out.
One try.
You can do it, Amara. Come on. Yeah, girly pop, let's go.
It worked. Oh, it worked.
Here goes.
You're a spectacle. Vault Hunter,
Okay,
get on up to that
Zane's
ignition
like
switch.
low-key super sweet. He's like super supportive and stuff.
Oh, stop them! Only the queen may light the sacred flame.
What is this game even rated?
T-bags are on the loose
K
again.
for kids. C for let your children play this.
If Callus is dead, why are the Rippers still guarding this place?
You're giving a lot of credit to some maniacs who took an ice cream scoop to the grandstand.
I'm just gonna do all this
For
on
this,
here.
right?
Ah!
Where do we stick it?
Get him on.
I've got this one. Zadra, I need an assist.
I told you I want out of this group chat.
Oh, that's Zane.
Oh, Vault Hunter, it's you.
Had to remove me from this
Use
group
Alice's
chat.
bolt to launch a space elevator so we can go into a different dimension on the moon.
I see, yes. That all makes sense, and I have no questions.
None.
That makes sense, and I have no questions.
I've adapted to a new normal. To the task at hand. The device will require Callus's bolt signature, but we just wiped that. I can emulate it from here, but you will need to align a data relay connected to the command console.
Data relay connected to the command console.
A lot of sci-fi gobbledygook.
Gobblegibber. Yep. So true, Zane. So true.
I'm choosing to feel this as positive.
For crowd control, I know, right? Should be evaluated for ADHD, probably. Will I? No. Grad school is not easy. I'm proud of you for doing it though, Nikki. I wish I had the motivation. Ka-chow. Ah! It's fine. It's fine. I almost just fell. But I didn't. Align. Align these nuts. Pounce! Howumps! Whatever. Game.
And there. Zadra?
Acceptable work. The data relay is functional. Get over to the terminal and I'll transfer operational control.
This way, Vault Hunter.
The way you talk about her, sounds like Lilith can do just about anything.
Lilith's power was.
I've ever met.
Oh
She's
my
a leader.
gosh. Lilith's power was
She's the
fine.
firehawk.
Maya's was so much more fun to play as.
She saved my life. And his too, for some reason.
But they're like, she's the most powerful person ever.
She just beat me to it.
She could just phase walk. She could just go invisible. Like, it was cool when you were, like, overcrowded and there was, like, too many enemies. You could just, like, go in biz and kind of, like, get out and get yourself some space.
We
But
have got to talk to these
Maya's
rippers about
was way more
proper
fun to
stairway
play as.
access. That control terminal is out of reach.
This way. I've got it.
You sure?
I've got it.
I did. I ate dinner. Before stream. On the drive. What is she doing? Oh, follow? Thought she was gonna like fix the elevator. I loved playing as Maya. Was just so much more fun, I feel like. Amara was fun too, but Amara was like super OP after, you know, 72 levels or something like that. Oh, whoa, whoa. Can I get on that? Ah!
Grab on.
Hell yeah.
Damn, girl. And with style.
Hell yeah.
Not so
You're a
bad.
badass, Amara. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise.
Zane,
Excuse me.
thank you. I'm not accustomed to feeling
Human.
Bye.
weak.
Ooh,
Trust
okay.
me.
Ooh, ooh,
I've had a fair
ooh,
share
wow,
of meal on top. Some on purpose, some less so. Your mind is gonna fight it.
Horseman, that doesn't
Try
even
and
make
tell you
sense.
nothing changed, but the strength is in the changing.
I've never run
What was
from a
movie
fight.
concessions? Just
I'm not
popcorn.
stopping now.
I know, boring, kinda, but it was just oh, come on, no. Okay, hold on. How do you jump off of a thing? That's what I've been having the trouble with. Like, I don't know how to jump. Oh, wait. How come that time it worked? Okay, hold on. Hold on. There we go. Ah, sir. That was disrespectful. Oh, Botox for, yeah, my mom used to get Botox injections for her migraines.
Zadra, I'm at the control terminal. What now?
First, carefully place the bolt. Tremendous. I'll root Callus's bolt code emulation.
Oh yeah,
through
there's
Echo
no
4. Have him hack the console.
slide abilities I've
E4,
noticed in this
do
one
the
so
honors.
far. Like, you used to be able to get augments or whatever that could make your slides do stuff too. Yeah, the Mystic Cinema sells booze. One of the one that's closer to my house sells alcohol, but the IMAX one does not. But we went to the IMAX.
Control authority is transferred to you.
The IMAX is close to
I
work.
suggest you not leave Callus's bolt behind. I hear it was quite a hassle to acquire.
Oh, yeah. Guys, don't forget, somebody fucked Goofy. Ugh, yuck.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, right. I saw that. That was disrespectful. I'm not gonna get this guy. Or I might get this guy. Come on. Someone yucked him, exactly. That's what I'm saying. We all know Goofy yucks. I know. Goofy probably gets it more than half these people. These people. You'll bring a beer in? Oh, I always bring stuff in. I don't know if Steph is still here or not, but Steph and I used to go, we used to call it the Movies because we would go to Moe's and we would get a Moe's burrito and we would bring an entire big ass Moe's burrito into the movies with us. The Movies. Back in the day when Steph and I did our movie review channel. Doing it right, exactly. Snuck a full 12-pack of mics? That's legit. At least a fuck, no proof of any more times than the one. You know what, Nikki? That's true. There's only evidence of one yuck. It's true. We only have evidence of the single yuck. Just for the movies? Oh, yeah. You gotta have a movie bag. Some places, like, try to check your bags and stuff, and I'm always like, tampons! My tampons! Do you want to see my tampons, you perv? That's what you gotta do, guys. Ladies, you're welcome. You're welcome. Works every time. Works every time, 100% of the time. Am I going the right way? I think so, right? I'll try it the next time I go. Yeah, accuse him of trying to steal your tampons. I'm telling you. Works every time. This is not correct. This is not the correct way to go. Act natural. Exactly. Ah. Hello? Hello? Get out. Hello? Okay, now I can.
Got it.
Now
Thanks,
I can
Sandra.
continue.
Just doing my part for the Crimson Resistance. Come back alive, please. That's it. Well, are we ready for launch?
Vault Hunter, we're getting on a tiny lift up to the massive lift. Looks like the switch is above us. Flick it for us, will you?
Throw everything we got at him! Sinks, stress balls, large appliances, I don't care! Just stop them!
Push the button.
Vex.
No,
You're
buddy.
coming back. Back to the face. I can feel it before it happens. Like ripples reaching the shore. Before you've thrown the stone, I warned you to stay away.
Poor RJ. Has anyone tried those Serta cooling gel pillows? I haven't. I haven't.
Oh, come on.
This isn't filling me with confidence about the integrity of the space elevator.
Ah, manky lift jammed from up top. You have to clear it out manually.
You're thinking, this guy's crazy. And you're right.
No, RJ, I don't think you're crazy. I think you're damaged and you've been tortured and shit.
Lilith. The universe has rules. And she's gonna break them into stained glass pieces.
It's crazy that they didn't change RJ's picture when he's speaking. There's supposed to be a spot for me to be able to grapple to? Uh-huh.
Okay. Lift should be good to
That
go.
was not an
It sounds
obstruction. That
things
was
might
like
get
something
weird
very
soon.
obviously put there.
What's new?
I mean, I
We're
get
on
that's
our
still an
way.
obstruction, but it's not like an accidental.
Striker, mother of mercenaries, Shadow be thy name.
What was that?
I told you to be a prayer. Leave it be. This way, Vault Hunter.
Okay, besties, let's go. Yeah, I got way ahead
There's
of
the
myself
platform.
up here.
Next stop, low Kairos orbit.
Let's go, besties! What? Where do we go now? Where do we go now? Oh, okay, you guys are following me?
Right.
Button!
Tether cable looks secure. Lift system's operational. Fuel levels. Ah, who are we kidding? We're riding this Widowmaker to the moon come hell or high lightning.
I would
Right.
prefer neither of those.
So, before we do this,
We're with you. To the end.
All the way. No backing down now.
I was going to ask if anyone saw any safety harnesses. But hell, I'll take it. Let's do this.
That's so out of character for her. Get out.
I'll feed you my offer piece by piece.
Oh, oh, sir. This is way too small of a room. This room is so little.
Hey, you were right.
About what?
Even if we die,
Wait, are we on the moon? Oh my god, the moon?
I warned you. And now I have to stop you.
Moon!
The one from the black site. He's got powers like a siren, and he doesn't want us finding Lilith.
Let him try and stop us. Stop those vile experiments. Aim for the crystal.
This is an insane gun. Do you like the moon? I'll fly you to the moon. Straight to the moon, Alice. And let you play Among the Stars? Sure, if that's what you want.
Inspired performance from me.
Yeah, get knocked out, nerd. Yeah. Yeah. Where did she go? Nice. No, don't suck me up. No.
I don't even miss the taste of soup.
Always overreact. Oh, nasty little
Bye. This gun is fun. Launches people to space. This gun is crazy. Every time it like frightens me though because they just go flying. Popping popcorn, the yeetage is very intense, and I'm here for it. I don't know where he just went. I yeeted him so hard, his hammer fell. No, he's sucking me.
He's blinking all over the bleeding place.
I just saw him. He's over here.
Boost. Where are you going? Why are you going this weird way?
Where is he?
Steady. On your guard.
Was this gonna be RJ? Yeah. Yep. Oh! Oh, I thought he was gonna stab me. Come on, Amara. Come on, Amara. Come on, Amara. Woo. Don't do it. Don't kill her. Do not do it. Oh my god, am I gonna have to watch? Zane.
Hey, boyo.
He's gonna phase out with Amara. Oh. Okay, kind of sick. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop.
He'll be back.
I'll polish me boots.
It's speeding up!
Rippers must not believe in brakes.
Hold on!
That was sick as fuck.
Are we alive? Did we make it to Elvis?
Either that, or we died and this is heaven. In which case, I say we robbed.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Steady there. You were out for a few minutes.
Lilith better be up here, because we are not taking that thing back down.
Conditions are dodgy out there. We're not in deep space, but there sure as shite isn't air for us to breathe.
No chance the Rippers stuck their elevator with oxygen masks, right?
Found one while you were napping. Here, you take it.
Wait, why me?
Elpis was Dahl territory, so there's bound to be equipment scattered around outside. Amara and I can hoof it to an air bubble generator, while you find us some proper Oz kits.
Okay.
Then we start searching for Lilith.
Okay.
The door is stuck, but I've held back from punching it down. You do the honors.
Sure.
How long can you hold your breath? I don't.
Ka-chow!
Deep breath.
All right. Oh no! Yay, another space section. I love space sections in these games. They're fun.
We sell them in pints round here.
I like the low grav.
You tried. If you see a dictator today,
They're literally holding their breath. Oh, I see the edge right here. These are oxygen.
I was running on fumes.
Yeah.
Oh no, here's
when you're not
oxygen.
trying to talk the whole time.
I don't know where he is. Whatever. Oh, I touched the lava?
This air bubble ain't gonna last. Hurry up and find those oxygen kits, huh? Should be some lurking around.
Oh, in the search area. Okay. Oh!
No use checking the sense. Those creepy bastards
I'm
don't
not
need to
checking
breathe.
since.
Strange. What was
Here.
the order doing up here?
Dying, looks like.
Check.
One.
Found one.
Good. Just need one more mask.
Oh, there's a thing. Here it is.
Welcome to Elvis, home to some of the most exciting real estate in the 6 galaxies. Ever wanted to witness the spectrum of human misery from afar, as only
the search
gods
area
and
now.
content creators do? Well, now
Wait,
you
why
can.
did it switch my...
Elvis
Yeah, why did it do that? I didn't want it to
tightly
switch
locked
my
rotation ensures
quest.
you'll always have a front row seat to planet-side mayhem, with none of the danger. Call Elvis Developments to schedule.
That's two.
Weird.
Fresh air coming right up.
Hello.
There's a pal. Bring him back right fast, huh? Oh, jeez, smells like psycho breath.
So what's the plan? How do we get into the phase dimension to find Lilith?
The barrier is thin here. I can feel it. I think if we can get close enough to the core, I can break through.
I was also gonna say we should head towards the giant glowy core thing. Great minds.
Let's split up. Vault Hunter, you head for the core. Zane and I will get that doll ship over there running in case we need to make a quick exit. We'll meet you further along.
Yeah, of course. I'll go do the tough stuff. Sure.
about the tides.
You flew a rom-conf jet straight through another rom-conf jet at least 5 times.
Only 5? You barely grasped the finer nuances of the tale then.
Sure. I'll just do all the heavy lifting.
That massive and dangerous looking. You guys sure it's a good idea to get close?
Wait, we're supposed to be having
Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm on Elpis. Okay, makes sense.
No one told me that!
Lilith is there. I can feel it. As for safety, I think we left that behind when we became Vault Hunters.
Goodbye.
We got live rippers up here too.
Goodbye.
Guess
Goodbye.
up to scout for our wackadoo plans. Well, we're not giving them a ride back to Kairos, so put them out of their misery.
We're not giving anyone a ride anywhere if this stupid ship won't work.
Easy, Tiger. Pretty sure punching ain't in the repair manual.
I don't know. I think punching is a good starting point to repairing things.
Leave a message!
Wait, how is she? I saw the grenade get thrown. That's weird. Hello, butt zerker. Oh, I slid underneath that because I'm a badass. Did you guys see that? Some superhero shit right there. Impressive. She's gaming. She's gaming.
Another ceasing.
Impressive fish. Yeah, real impressive fish. That was funny. GG. GG. Why you no do? Whatever. They're fake giant geysers. They're fake! He's chasing that dream. It's true. It's so true.
Every time!
Well, I'll be a tinker's codpiece.
I'll be a tinker's codpiece.
And you doubted my
I hate
methods.
that.
Never! Vault Hunter, we're headed your way.
Oh my gosh.
Coming in.
This is actually probably a really good time before I go in this room here. I'm gonna go piss girl.
More order, huh?
We're gonna go piss
That hero
girl.
doesn't leave many stones unturned, does he?
Alright, am I safe? I'm not probably safe. I'm gonna go back over here. Seen what in Icarus? Did you farm it for exotics? Alright guys, I'm gonna go piss girl. I'll be right back. I'm back. Thank you everybody who waited. I appreciate it. You don't know how? There's an extractor. And now of course I'm drawing a blank on what it's called. It's like an enzyme extractor or something. But it's an extractor that you build and you put onto the geyser. And it's kind of tough because it does like waves of enemies because the noise of the extractor attracts enemies. So it's like waves and waves of enemies. So it like starts with like wolves and then it goes to like the stronger black wolves and then it ends up going to like bears and like the cougars and stuff. So it's like waves of enemies while the thing like goes on. It's kind of tough. That's why I wish I had more people who play Icarus with me. I'm kind of bummed because Ray ended up buying it because it was just on sale. And we tried to play it the other day and his RAM couldn't support it. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it. When you were like, no, my 8 gigs of RAM is plenty. Which I'm telling you, I never would have let him get 8 gigs of RAM. So he can't play that with me. I think Gigi said she ended up grabbing it too. He'd now rehydrate. Okay, I will in just a second as soon as I... Oh my gosh, is he about to die right now? Yep. That's crazy. Only 19. So max level is 60. He's going to buy more RAM, but he has a laptop, so he has to get like laptop RAM.
One more of those, please.
You know? But he plans on buying more RAM. I told him to just get a fucking PC and to not get a laptop. And he was so like, I want a laptop because I want to be able to like be lazy. I was like, there are so many ways to be lazy with a computer. Like I literally have like a mobile setup for my PC in my bedroom. Or my thingy. If you need more people. The problem is like, because I've been playing for 3 years, or 4 years, or however long it is, like, my character is like max level, and I've got like all this crazy experience and shit like that, so it's like, either I need to start a new character, which I don't need to do, or like, people need to grind through some of their stuff, you know? That's the only problem. I fucking love Icarus, though. I don't know what it is about Icarus that's, like, scratches the itch so nicely for me. But I love it. Out of all the survival crafts that I've ever played, it's my favorite. And I don't know what, it's the harshest. Like, you know, the weather events make it really difficult, like... Some of the enemies are really... Like, the first time I met a bear... Also, I'm kind of pissed that I didn't retroactively get all of the achievements. Because when I started playing, they didn't have achievements because it was in beta or whatever. Not beta. What's that beta? Anyway. I've been playing it for so long that they didn't have achievements. So, like, the achievement for, like, reviving a prospector, killing a prospector, like... All the shit when, like, Nate and I would kill each other for fun and stuff. Like, I didn't get any of those achievements. The getting killed by a bear achievement, I didn't get. The getting struck by lightning achievement, I didn't get. I'm like, do you know how hard it's gonna be for me to get killed by a bear now? I'm just gonna have to sit there and, like, just let a bear tackle me. It's time. That's what I'm saying. And the same thing happened, like... There's an achievement for spending so many hours in an open world. Nice work. And I'm like, I have 300 hours in that game. How many of those hours do you think was spent in my open world that I've been working on for 3 years? More than 50. You know, so like, I had to like re-earn the 50 hours achievement. I was like, that's dumb. Like, it's not gonna be hard because I'm gonna put 50 more hours in, but like, give me that shit retroactively.
Don't start.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few that I know that I've done in the past and I have to redo.
No dice. Pilot lights busted.
One of them is getting killed by a bear. One of them is getting struck by lightning.
There'll be no stopping you.
I got, is that them flying that? Woo! Go to space. Well, we're in space, I guess. Am I supposed to be doing something with those? Gotta get dinner! Good night, bestie. Enjoy dinner. Oh, he jumped out? Okay, well, that's not very nice. Oh! Okay, so the low gravity plus the jetpack is pretty sweet. Woo! There he goes. Oh, he's still going. Is he falling yet? There he comes. Here he comes. Is he alive? No, he's definitely not alive. He's definitely not alive. What kind of things are you trying to do? I mean, I don't have it in front of me, so of course I won't remember like the names and everything, but I can definitely give you some advice on some stuff. Or some help. What am I supposed to do in there? Grow explosives?
Love these things.
That, oh wait, no, I'm supposed to get these explosives. Hold on. Right? Where are they? Stop! Yeah, here, right? Yeah. Oh, the seeds. Like how to plant the seeds, you mean? Or like what to do with the seeds?
From downtown.
A seed extractor. Yeah, they changed that. And I'm kind of bummed about it. So you used to just get seeds from like farming, and like you would get like a couple seeds every time you would like pick a plant or whatever. But I guess people complained because it would fill your inventory up, which is totally fair. Like you would be trying to like, you know, farm your garden and you'd have to stop because like your inventory would be full of seeds. So like I get it. And then they created the seed bag, which was supposed to be like, oh, put all your seeds in here instead. And then I guess somebody, like, they still complained about seeds, so now you have to use the seed extractor, which I don't like. I like being able to just get seeds naturally from my crops when I, like, farm them. Whatever. The sickle? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just, like I said, just they changed that, and I was like, I liked just being able to like hold E while I was walking and just, you know. But anyway, a lot of stuff has been added. Like the mounts were like new and added afterwards. The pets are new. There's a lot of stuff that they've added over. They have had an update a week, every week since launch.
Final warning, Flint.
Tell me how many games have done that.
We'll sort this out.
It's all hangover with none of the fun.
Tame a horse. Mm. Yeah. Like I said, I love it. It's my favorite survival craft game ever. Oh, come on. I overshot that for real. I can't believe I overshot that by that little tiny bit. Dang, now I want to play Icarus. Boot that shit up after stream. To saddle. You just have him walking around with me. Yeah, and especially because you can't even put like stuff in his inventory until you have the saddle either. Which is super helpful later. I have a whole, like, not a farm, but like, I have like a barn that I've built for all of my animals.
This moon is crazy.
The Moa's the best one for like, excuse me, for traveling. Because it's the fastest and it has the most stamina. So like if you're trying to go really, really far, you want to get the Moa. But if you were like trying to like go, what the fuck? Sky Thresher? Since when?
When I first got my powers, I threw up for a whole day.
Ah, now the engine coil's gone dead.
Since when?
We were spinning out of control.
But the buffalo is the best if you're just like going mining and hauling a bunch of shit. Because not only does it have the most inventory, but it can also pull the trailer as well. Yeah, level 60 is the max, but you can keep earning blueprint points for like forever. So technically, like if you, when you load into an open world, it tells you like how many levels you've ever earned. So I'm technically like level 114, but I'm level 60 because then you max out at 60. Alright, where do I go from here? I guess there? Clearly. Woo!
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, they max your your skill points max out at 60, but you can earn blueprint points for forever. Holy shit. Holy shit. I don't need to use that. I was actually here, but okay. That was unexpected. Can I get this thing? Where is it?
It looks like it's finally happening, sugar. My brand new bar
should
on
I go in?
Elpis is almost ready to open its doors, and I can't wait to show you
Should I go
everything I've
across?
been working on.
I'm going.
We've had broken bottles, broken hearts, and more dirty words than a cat house on Promethea. Not to mention that lioness
I want a legendary. I just want like a super dope fucking legendary.
I'll always end up on top. Give me a few more weeks and this place will be perfect. So, darling, make sure you're on the list for the grand opening of Moxie's Up Over Bar.
How I want my character. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to
So
miss your chance to
there's 2 skill trees.
be one of the first 25 through the door, and your first drink is on me. Moxie's
There's
Up
2
Over
skill
Bar,
trees. There's
only
a
on
single player skill tree and then there's a co-op skill tree. Well, I guess that's not true. There's 2 ways to level up. Like 2 builds. You have a co-op build and you have a single player build. And then there's skill trees in both of those builds, obviously. And those can only go up to 60. You never get more of those points. But you can get every blueprint forever if you just continue to level up. Which is crazy because you can never catch up because they just keep adding stuff. So like I'll get everything in like tier 1 and I'll get everything in like tier 2. And then they'll do me an update or whatever and suddenly there's like 7 more things in tier 2 and I'm like, what the heck? Now I gotta go back and get all this stuff too. Are you playing any of the missions? What are you playing, Horseman? Yeah, like, are you doing the missions? Are you doing an open world? Are you doing an outpost? Outposts are fun, but, they're so limited.
Nice try.
How are you not dead? don't like the sky expression. I'm not a fan of that existing. Oh, and now there's regular ones too. Cool. Cool. Keep taking poison damage. That's fine. There we go. You did some campaign stuff earlier. Yeah, I haven't done some campaign missions in so long that there's new ones that I've never even loaded up. I don't even know. And then the DLC ones are like tough. The DLC is tough. I remember trying a DLC mission and I was like, holy. Go the right way? Yeah, okay. It's so hard to estimate like how far you're gonna go with this, you know, low gravity jumps. I didn't realize I switched. Excuse you. This guy's still behind me. Woo! Kill him? No, there's no way. Oh my god, he's over there now? Get out. That's so funny.
You're giving me goosebumps in a bad way.
Okay, see this guy. Okay, chill. Rager hothead. It does kind of sound like Pop Smoke. It's so fun though. It's such a fun gun. Bye. Enjoy space, I guess. Wait, how is he not dead? Where did he go? Yeah, this really probably should be more for crowd control rather than bosses. Oh, there's a thing down here. It's nice.
They call me balmy, they did.
Balmy.
Simple. A no good dustbin lid piece of trash would lack the savvy to keep his loaf in the muck where it belonged. Well, I'll show them in it. Take a butcher's hook, look at me now. No more dipping the bins for old pickle now. No, sir. I've gone all straight and narrow. Proper respectable, I am. Got the lads.
Who is this pickle guy?
And
I want to meet him.
for the pleasure. And all they ask in return is,
I want to meet him. Where is this guy that says it's below?
Proper boss like, isn't it? That's right. I'm on top. And no grassroots uprising can never take me back to the alleyways. Era of people is upon us.
Bye bye, boom boom. Bye bye, boom boom. Nowhere. Nowhere. God, I hate this. It's a platforming nightmare. It's not even that bad platforming. I'm just bad at platforming.
Making progress here.
When I started to start building and mining, and the campaign showed me things like take weapons and run this course. I'm not even close to making guns. Yeah, you'll definitely want weapons at some point.
Ship should be running again in 2 sheds. Go on through those dark lines.
So like when you're mining, like what are you doing in caves with like the animals in there? Oh. Crossbow? Yeah. Guns are just another option. And there's like, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but like there's like bosses, like world bosses in the game. Like I don't use guns either, even at this level. But I've got, you know, like a crazy bow that does like 3,000 damage per shot. It's like the highest level platinum bow plus like augmentations and stuff. Holy shit, I can't see. Oh, don't absorb it. Come on. Dude, this is so fun for crowd control, man. Bye!
I told you to shower!
Told me to shower? Why am I sneaky?
No, I'm mad! Oh, that'll stop me!
Fine, just rot from within then, I guess. I don't know. Ooh, what happens if I... Oh, yay. Oh, that's not fair. What's this? Ooh, that's a new healer. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. Hello, thank you. Sort by level. There we go. That's kind of sweet. I don't know if you could play it like that. I mean, I don't want everyone in my open world because then there would be like 1,000 fucking pods in my world. But I don't know how many people can do what you call it, missions. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Who is launching those, though? It's whoever's launching these balls.
Uh-oh. Someone didn't
Was it
kill
that
me.
guy? Hopefully it was that guy. Who's launching balls?
I got no time for this crap!
Hi, okay, just trying to get some ammo. Bro. What? Like, how are you supposed to do anything if they just keep spawning? Guess you just get good, right? How are you going through him? The popping. Music to my ears. Music to my ears. Beautiful. Did I touch it before I fell? Okay, good.
Creepy and abandoned. Just how I like it. What was this place anyhow?
Methane mines.
Wait, am I supposed to go down there?
Courtesy of the ever-loving Dahl Corporation. Long since abandoned.
Good thing, too. Anyone here when Lilith bamfed this road away would have had a rough ride.
Here. There we go. There we go.
What the? Guys?
A real
I don't think I'm
champion.
alone in here.
Of course you're not. There's loads of rippers.
No, that's
I
not
saw
what I
him.
meant. Oh, I didn't. Who did I
There's an
missed?
elevator here.
What was I supposed to
Up
see?
top side.
She said she saw something. I didn't see anything. I missed it. Get in here. There we go. Okay, I threw it while I was in there for sure. Hop off one. I just stabbed him in the. I just stabbed him in the leg.
That'll stop me.
Right through ya.
It's kind of funny. Not intentional. I thought it was gonna give me the prompt to like take the thing out of his back to take the like the shield, like the projector shield or whatever, and then it didn't give me the option, and so I just stabbed him in the leg.
And of course, the elevator's power is out. Any
Yeah, because
ideas?
why wouldn't it be?
That's tough. The only
Is this
person
like
I
lava
know
lamp?
who's been
Look at.
in those mines is.
Oh no.
It's like a little lava lamp.
Claptrap.
Ooh, did someone say my name? Am I relevant? Ha! Claptrap is here to help! The dull mines on Elpis run on turbine generators. Start by finding the power console. You know, Elpis was the site of my most heroic deeds. Do you want to hear the epic tale of...
No.
Nope.
I have to wash my hair urgently.
Console's dead
I
too.
urgently have to wash my hair.
Everybody panic! Wait, no! The turbines just must have stopped. You'll have to manually spin 3 of them up to ignition speed before you can restart the system. Pull off the casing and get cranking.
Okay.
That's the way. Keep
Nice.
moving to the next one.
Easy. Have you ever heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise? The dark side leads to a path that many consider to be unnatural.
You got all 3 spinning. Now go hit the ignition.
Yay! Boom.
Sweet. We have power.
Yes! Hey, let me help more. It's so awesome to be useful on a big mission. My life has a whole new meaning. Like for once, I'm not just a lot of jokes and getting stuck in bingo and...
I had to. It's for the best, trust me. Just clear out the rabble and get up that elevator.
Holy popcorn. No! This is so good. Oh, it's so strong. Is this gun? is so ridiculous.
Stop letting them shoot at me!
It's so ridiculous. It's so fun. How are you not taking damage standing in the lava? Are you the last one? Bro. Everybody's dead. Just join your friends.
Okay, I did not just imagine that.
I heard the
Someone else
laughter,
is here.
but I didn't see anything.
Keep your knickers on. Ship's back online and we're headed your way. Pick you up topside.
Yeah, totally. I was like waiting for it to be somebody crazy, like, I don't know, I was saying like one of the Calypso twins like somehow survived or something. Somehow Palpatine has returned. You know, I thought they were gonna do a Rise of Skywalker. Ah, grab! Why didn't you grab that? Thank you, that was weird. They're bringing back everybody else, why not? Oh, Schmelly Ellie. Schmelly Ellie. Reach the core. I don't need any more ammo.
How perfect that you
Alice?
are here to see my ascent. All you killed of me was flesh and blood, the weaker part of me. What's left is divine.
Okay, the core isn't far. We just need somewhere to land the... at.
That's feckin' Callus back from the bleeding dead.
Oh shit.
Left, left, left.
I'm going left.
Then go rise.
Losing
Oh my
power.
gosh, I'm
taking it down.
friends. Great.
Vault Hunter, we're in one piece.
Okay, good.
The ship is in a lot more pieces.
Feckin' Callus doesn't know when to die.
And now her rippers have found us. Get ready for a fight, old man.
Just go back and get more. Oh yeah.
When the moon came, I saw my future, wreathed in fire. Now,
Risses.
you will see it for yourself. I lead my flock to escape the prison of Kairos, and Elpis will be our vessel.
Okay, Callus, you crazy? Oh, let me spend my skill. Do I have two? I do. Okay. Which ones? Oh, these ones are the ones that are with my class mod. Oh, I didn't even have points in that one. That's funny. I didn't have points in this one either. That's funny. It gave me points in three things that I didn't. That's cool. So in case, I think I get a whole bag of minis. If I had the bag at my desk. I spend a lot of time in this room. So, yeah. I probably would just bring the bag here. I wouldn't even separate it out. Alright, skill damage against critical hit chance. Oh wait, what's this one? Increase gun damage for duration. Rep kit. Increase gun rep kit cooldown. Increased splash damage. Oh, I wonder if this applies to my new shotgun. Based on the fullness of her shield. Critical hit chance. I think I want that one. The critical hit chance. Okay. Oh, SDU. I can upgrade that more. I think my assault rifle is going to be next. Okay. Continue. Because there's enemies over here.
Oh, bet you feel real big, you metal-headed trolls. Gang up on a useful retiree and a cat lady with anger issues.
Maybe anybody in chat, can you remind me, have you ever had to fight the same boss in Borderlands more than once? Like, I only remember fighting Handsome Jack the once at the end. I only remember fighting Serene, the girl Calypso at the end. Or the middle, I guess, technically, and then the guy was at the end. Whoa. He got launched. See ya. Wow, that was close. I heard the beeping. I didn't see the actual psycho. But I was like, I hear the beeping. What? Yeah, my own weapon shouldn't hurt me. I mean, I don't know if it only makes sense that it would, but wah. Wah.
That's a spread.
Oh, that's Zane. Shit, sorry. There's no friendly fire. Hi, friends. We're in space. Oh. Are you coming back? No, you're not. Okay. Oh! Why haven't you been doing that the whole time? That was dope. I can play as Zane in 3. Is that something he can do? My friend who played as Zane definitely didn't do that. She did like the digiclone with like the turret. Cause that's kind of dope if he can do that, like that phase dagger shit that he just did. That was pretty dope.
Went right to plan. But what in blazes is Callus doing up here? And alive, no less.
Space shit.
No idea. I sent her screaming to hell, but she's on her prophecy bullshit again. Hard.
We're so close to the core now. Let's move before she can muck anything else up.
Okay, let me ammo full. I can't help it. I have to loot them, even if there's nothing in there. muck up. Well, he says feck. Alert. Wait, is there more to go? Yeah, there's no more to go. Oh.
Well, this is it. End of the line.
Am I missing something here? Shouldn't the core have, like, an entrance ramp?
Oh, it does. We just have to build it.
Amara, you sure you got the juice for this? Cracking into the phase is no joke, and your arm ain't even healed.
A siren's power does not come from an arm
Is it
or
time
a
for
tattoo.
tentacles? I don't know.
It comes from within. Do you know who taught me that?
Me? Classic Zane wisdom, right there.
I'm gonna say Lilith.
Lilith, our firehawk. She was strong when we needed her. And now, she
Not even that
needs
strong,
me.
it's fine.
Greg Gustavo! That's one hell of a party trick.
Vault Hunter! This is all you! Go!
Oh, just me? Okay. Oh, what?
I see you.
Lilith, where are you? I'm coming to get you.
But you already did. Or you will, yesterday.
Claptrap.
This place is not for
Oh,
us.
that's the guy, the first guy.
One phase over another. Lapping. Underlapping. True
callous.
all at once. Time layered upon time. Starting dead, and then growing younger until you're born. I saved us from a fall. You're killing her. I'll punch her shit-eating grin.
Gosh, that's the third boss. I can't remember his name is.
I'm not making sense. But it's getting clearer. It's happening now. You're on your way. You're so close. The effects of what you're about to do are rippling forward and back, washing away every outcome until
Is
there's
this
only
really
one.
gonna be Lilith?
Infinite states are collapsing into fewer. A kaleidoscope, twisted until the colors align. I remember I saw the gates at the edge of the universe and kicked them down. Reality sprayed apart like a bursting skull. I've watched you save me. I've watched you fight. I tried calling to you. I needed you. I still do.
No.
I need you.
Fucking
to wake me up.
way.
I threw a moon across the galaxy. I didn't
No
know my own strength.
fucking way.
Shock nearly killed me. Elpis came through. And I didn't. I've been sleeping, dreaming, seeing.
Lilith?
I can see you. Who are you?
I'm Vex. I'm a Vault Hunter. Amara sent me here to find you.
Amara?
No way. No fucking way.
Lilith.
This really her?
Hey, I got you.
Thanks, killer.
No, stay with me. Stay with me!
was a lie. It wasn't me. It was her. She was always flesh and blood.
I have to fight her right now, I bet.
There's no escape. There never was. Not for me. Not for anyone!
For being the strongest being ever, fucking Lilith is always like passed the fuck out. Her hair got mad long though. I don't think people's hair grows that long in like 70s. Oh shit, okay. Well. Yeah, okay. I had the feeling this was about to happen. Yo, can you chill? Chill, 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 chill.
Stay with us, Lilith.
Yeah, stay with us, Lilith. I just spent all that time getting you back. Okay, well. Can I shoot that ball? Can I shoot that dog?
That's a mistake I'll make someone pay for.
Moon-maddened palace. Oh, jeez. How do I, okay, what do I do here? 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 It's gotta be her tail or something. What do I do here? What do I do? Let's see. Okay, I can't. I don't. It's gotta be something to do with her tail. Right?
Tranquility is a field of corpses.
Mommy, chill. I just used my health back. Ooh! Get back in the arena. Listen, right now is not the fucking time to be firehawking about everything. Do you not see that I'm literally dealing with this? I don't want this gun, I wanted this one, but it's cool enough, I guess. Give me a legendary, give me a legendary. No, don't drop my shit over the edge! I just dropped all my shit over the edge. And no fucking legendary. Better have a legendary in it, I swear. Why? Why does this game not want to give out legendaries? Yeah, first try. Actual first try.
Come on, Red. Come back to us. Could really use the Firehawk right now.
You saved me. Yeah. Mind returning the favor?
Our hair got mad long.
Last death.
Some pretty wings, yeah. So he's passing out.
Good to have you back.
He did. Did you miss the fight? Yeah, RJ did show up and we kicked his ass and knocked him off the space elevator.
Hells, the ride down was worse than the ride up.
And we didn't even get beverage service. How you feeling, Red?
Worn out, but okay.
He'll be back, yeah.
Vault Hunter, let's talk. I'm still pretty fuzzy, but
I don't know when he'll be back.
I know I owe all of you my life. It can't have been easy to find
She's
me.
always exhausted.
All it took was a psycho-engineered space
being, like,
elevator
the
and a
chosen
tear in the fabric
one.
of the universe.
The Crimson Raiders have been scouring the galaxies for you, Lilith. It's been over 6 years. 6 years.
Her hair
You'll
did
have to
not
catch
grow
me
that
up,
much in
but
6
let's
years.
start with, where are we?
Kairos, a fun little prison planet ruled by the Timekeeper. The gold-faced prick hides away in a sealed tower, lording over his vault.
Sounds like a real asshole. Let's get a move.
Easy, Red. You just got back to reality.
Now what?
Ain't you? Sight for sore eyes.
Oh.
Sore doesn't begin to cover it. Feels like I just spent 1,000 years in the universe's weirdest hot yoga class.
You aren't leaving my sight for another 1,000. Now rest. Moxie's orders.
Vault Hunter! And, assorted others. Was that massive deorbiting event you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the moon chunk that just landed? That was Callus's last middle finger to the Timekeeper.
Well, in making her exit, Callus may have blasted you an entrance to the city. If you want to reach the Timekeeper, strike now.
Nice.
Go to the breach in the city walls before the Order can patch it.
Nice. Oh, wow. She wasn't supposed to be
You'll
floating.
stay
She was
with
supposed to be down.
Lilith.
Lol.
Gotta get her back on steady legs. Have fun in the big city for us.
And if you need backup, you know who to call. Amara. I really need a nap.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Let's see. This is probably a good place, which I know it's a little short. Yeah, no, I'm calling it right now, Nikki. I just wanted to finish this, I like her hat. Got her hat. Oh, wait, does that mean this room's open now?
So much.
Yeah.
Trying to make sense of it.
Did you see where I left me keys? Lost them.
Is that it? Is this the one?
Same big picture, Flint.
There's
Where
two
would
in
we
here.
be without you? I missed you guys.
Oh, I thought there was two in here. All right. Main menu. All right, let's see if anybody is on for a read. Oh, Dirge is playing Silent Hill. Yeah, let's go right into Dirge. Dirge is playing Silent Hill. It's spooky month, right? You guys want some spooky, right? I can go a little bit later, but I don't want to push it because I have my tattoo appointment in the morning. So. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. It does look pretty. It does look really pretty. All right. Tomorrow is Elden Ring with Gigi. I hope it's not the last one, but it could possibly be the last one. I hope it's not. But yeah, tomorrow is Elden with Gigi, and then Sunday, I would like to do another demo day and get through some of the other keys that I have. Otherwise, we'll be playing more of this because I think we're getting close to the end. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys, and I will see you tomorrow for some Elden with Gigi raid message. Oh, yep. There we go. There we go. All right, guys. Good night. Go say hey to Dirge. Go hang out with Dirge. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Elden. Bye.